In the bug world, many things that creep, crawl, and slither share the same patch of land. They also share a primeval urge to kill on sight. When a giant rhinoceros beetle encounters a swarm of voracious meat ants, it's a conflict that will end in blood. Rhinoceros beetles are like tanks on the bug battlefield. They're among the biggest of all the beetles, titans of the bug world.
Rhinoceros beetles aren't misnamed. They're big, they're kind of clumsy, but they have a thick, heavy, sclerotized exoskeleton that is incredibly hard to pierce. It covers most of their body, and the rhinoceros beetles are awesomely strong.
On a power-to-weight ratio, these battle bugs are the strongest animals on the face of the earth.
It's estimated that a rhinoceros beetle is able to push or carry as much as 850 times its body weight. We're talking that a human could lift as much as 65 tons. This is a crazy heavy amount that this rhinoceros beetle is able to carry.
For all its brute force, this monster mostly eats rotting fruit, which provides all the fuel it needs to wrestle a rival.
The males and the males alone have these big horn-like structures that act like levers.
Each male has two forked horns, one on the head, the other on the top of the prothorax. As a weapon, they work like a pair of sharp tongs to catch and dispatch an opponent. When two males come to blows, the reason is always the same. They both want the turf and the ladies.
If he's got a pile of rotting fruit near a log, he'll try to defend this spot and hope that females come in. The male uses his horns as a lever and is able to flip other males off the log.
But for all his brutish ways, the rhinoceros beetle has one surprising trick up his sleeve. He can fly.
The rhinoceros beetle almost transforms itself when it gets ready to fly. It opens its four wings in a click and then lumbers into flight. These are not great flyers.
It takes to the air with all the grace you'd expect from a tank with wings. Still, it's a talent that could save its life. And he may need an escape strategy if he strays into meat ant territory. One single ant isn't much of a threat. But where you find one, you'll find many.
Individual nests can contain tens of thousands of ants, but they're often linked together into super colonies that can contain hundreds of thousands or more.
Meat ants don't sting, but they bite with a vengeance, with mandibles honed like steel shears to rip through raw flesh. For the victim, it's death by 1,000 cuts.
The ants just swarm over whatever they're attacking, and all those tiny little jaws keep snipping and snipping and snipping until it's history. They can make an animal much larger than them run for the hills.
Whenever a meat ant is moving, it's hunting. and there are many mouths to feed.
Meat ant colonies have multiple queens, all pumping out larvae that need to be fed. This is why the colonies are always on the hunt. They just have so many larvae back at home screaming for energy-rich food.
And when they go hunting, meat ants will go on the attack at any time. These soldiers join forces at a moment's notice. News of a conflict spreads fast through the troops.
When an intruder stumbles into the ants' area, the message goes out very, very quickly. It literally spreads like wildfire.
Vibration and touch play their parts. But specific chemical signals, pheromones, are the real key to communication.
Before you know it, a swarm is on the way, ready to defend against anything.
In the eternal tussle for insect supremacy, some bugs are Goliaths, and some more like Davids with a bad attitude.
Meat ants are really kind of ill-behaved ants. These are aggressive ants that are perfectly willing to attack. They're scary ants.
Meat ants are active in daylight, while rhinoceros beetles get busy at night. But there's sometimes a crossover hour. It's early morning, and a tank-like vegetarian blunders into meat ant territory. The alarm goes out through the colony.
The ants have sent out the chemical signal to call in further reinforcements. So if the beetle's in trouble now, soon he's going to be in even bigger trouble.
As the ants start nipping at his heels, he loses his balance and falls onto the nest. The beetle's best defense is its impenetrable armor.
Really, the only places where these ants are going to be able to get in and bite at the rhinoceros beetle effectively is at its joints.
And that's where the ants attack in force. The beetle tries to escape. He needs to get clear to fly away. But carrying vicious ants as excess baggage, he can't get to the runway.
The best thing it could do is fly away, but it gets ready to fly really slowly.
The ants dig deeper now. They crawl inside the skin of their prey, spraying formic acid. Savagely and relentlessly, dozens of mandibles are biting the beetle to death.
At this point, the beetle's armor is useless. The ants are going to crawl into every crevice they can and bite him into oblivion.
In this battle, size becomes a disadvantage. A lumbering armored tank is no match for armor-piercing infantry. Beneath a verdant rainforest canopy, there's a hidden world, a bug's world. In truth, it's more like a collection of warlike nations, each ready to defend its territory against any invader. What happens when a deadly tree scorpion invades a green ant kingdom? It's a call to arms, to defend the empire. This plant is about to become green ant territory. In less than a day, they will swarm over its leaves and bend them to their will. It's empire building by an incredible society that thinks as one.
Colonies are interesting things. This is where hundreds of individuals behave like a single organism.
They may think as one, but they're divided into specialist teams. There are workers, porters, guards, and beneath this swarm of servants, a queen.
In an ant colony, the queen is by far the most valuable thing. She sits there day in, day out, pumping out hundreds of eggs.
Construction on the queen's castle is underway. It's an ambitious undertaking, but every green ant is a born engineer with equipment to match. Up front, its mandibles are like a hydraulic press, lined with razor teeth. On a human scale, they could lift a 7-ton truck. In the ants' world, they can slice off a limb or hold up a roof.
Imagine us being able to lift something hundreds of times our body weight using just our mouth.
With their jaws and legs, ants become heavy machinery, pulling massive leaves into a cocoon. For adhesive, they use silk spun from larvae, carried around like living bags of glue. But this Army Corps of Engineers isn't just building a new kingdom, they're defending it. For other bugs, it's become a no-go zone. Any breach is met with overwhelming force.
The strength of green ants is in numbers. While some of them will pin the prey down, others will come by and bite it over and over and over again until it's defeated.
Like a crack commando unit, a squad immobilizes the beetle, while others start slicing it up. Green ants can capture and butcher a beast in just minutes. But some creatures can be too hot to handle. Like this killer, descended from the first bugs to crawl on land 300 million years ago. The tree scorpion. It's a wily opponent, built for a quick kill. It has size and sting on its side.
It captures prey by stinging it with this venom, grabbing it with the pinchers, and then tearing it apart and eating it.
The tree scorpion stalks the lower rainforest canopy. There's nowhere it's scared to go. It fears no one.
Scorpions are hunters. Scorpions will basically take whatever they're able to successfully capture. Insects, other scorpions, they'll attack a wide range of different animals. Insects, spiders, but also one of the things that's most notable about scorpions is that scorpions are major predators on other scorpions. In fact, scorpions may be the most important predator on other scorpions.
Its confidence and lethal advantage come from supersensitive hairs on its legs and body. The slightest movement registers, even the flap of a fly's wing. And leading it straight to the kill zone are sensors beneath its body called pectins.
These pectines, think of them as combs, are extremely sensitive to substrate vibration. So as they're walking along, these combs are responding to vibrations from the ground. As they walk, these touch the ground. In addition, the pectines are probably at least somewhat sensitive to chemical and odor cues and are picking up information from the environment. They don't have particularly good vision. They almost certainly are responding to light and dark, but they're clearly not locating prey visually.
This cricket came too close. It landed on a branch. The vibrations and the cricket's telltale chemical compounds alerted the scorpion. And in no time, the cricket became the main menu item on its predator's outdoor dinner table. The tree scorpion has bizarre table manners. Its mouth has claws. This creature knows how to look after itself in the rainforest. But how will it fare in a border dispute? Nearby, the ant empire is expanding overnight. The tree scorpion's territory is under threat. And any dispute will quickly turn into all-out war.
When a green ant colony attacks a much larger animal, anything that can be bitten will be bitten.
When green ants invade your territory, they don't negotiate. They simply arrive in their thousands and start building an empire. There's no diplomacy, no discussion. They owe allegiance only to their queen.
Green ants are extremely territorial. They will protect their queen at all costs.
The tree scorpion shows no such respect for the queen, nor her faithful subjects. It's been spotted by a lone scout. It's David versus Goliath. But no one's told the green ant. No matter how futile the attack, it's programmed to lock on to its foe. The scout is easily dispatched, but it has sent out a chemical distress signal. It's like sounding an air raid siren inside the colony.
The defensive strategy of the green ants is built all around teamwork, sending out chemical messages that'll bring in lots of ants. You'll have hundreds of them pouring into that one area.
The colony mobilizes for war. Soldiers head out to meet the invader. The tree scorpion tries to beat a retreat, but it's surrounded.
This is where the real fight begins. Once the green ants start operating as a team, their effectiveness takes an exponential leap. It's a case of 1 + 1 = 3.
Ant numbers swell quickly. Each attaches itself, trying to outmaneuver the giant intruder. Sensing an advantage, the ants deploy their weapon of mass destruction, a cloud of formic acid. Sprayed from each ant's abdomen, the cloud is like pouring molten lava on the scorpion's wounds. It lashes out, and its victims are piling up. Medic ants deal with the wounded. But more soldiers swarm in to replace the dead and dying. The onslaught overcomes the scorpion's last defenses.
The ants are able to hold on to different parts of the scorpion so it isn't able to sting. There's a limit to how many it's able to grab with its pinchers.
The scorpion is pinned, helpless. The ants then set about dismembering their victim, chewing through its joints. They start carrying away the ultimate trophy of war, the scorpion's stinger. There's nothing their victim can do. Once it loses its sting, its fight is over. Many ants have made the ultimate sacrifice. That's how the colony works. One individual dies, an empire is defended. Long live the Queen.